Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 23 of the Mayhem Show. Wow, 23 episodes. What's it been? 2 weeks or something like that? Just kidding. Good to see everybody out there tonight watching. I am Mark May. Co-host Lewis Perry will be on here in just a second. We got a couple of surprises for you tonight that you're going to be pulling together for you here. Man, what a week it has been. We were on Friday night. We were on last Wednesday. We've been pulling together a ton of shows, and it's all been leading up to our big show that's going to be on the road in Springville, Alabama, for the first tour stop of the Hellbringers tour, where it all started, where I actually grew up, which is Springville, Alabama, which is why I chose that place to do our first show. So it's going to be the first time you can pick up Hellbringers books as well. Really cool venue. Can't wait for you guys to see the Main Street Italian Bistro, which is the best Italian food in the South. If you haven't tried it yet, check it out. Tonight's show is going to be a lot about wrestling, guys. We're going to have December Lace on the show tonight, who was a former professional female wrestler, and she is going to be telling us all about the industry, and it's going to be a good time. Before she comes on, though, I'm going to bring on my buddy Lewis here. Lewis, how you doing this week, my friend?
I'm a little hoarse. Boy, I tell you, what a day, huh?
That's like an Eocene joke. All my biologist out there will get that
one. Dude, no, seriously, let me change the voice changer off. Dude, it's been one hell of a week so far, and it's only Wednesday.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, I told Rose, I told my wife, I said, look, I don't want to let Mark down tonight. I'm exhausted, but I'm going to take a nap. And so I lay down on the couch and I took a nap. And next thing I know, she goes, hey, babe, you got to wake up. You got to go there for Mark. And I was like, what the heck time is it? She's like, it's quarter to 9.
Just give it 15 minutes. You'll be awake. You'll be good in 15 minutes. Like, I do the same thing. I make Adina wake me up 15 minutes before the show every day, just because you want to clear your mind. You know what I mean? Before you get on the show, just clear that space out. So that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, she's like, it's quarter to 9. I'm like, quarter to 9. I said, I don't have to wake up till 4. I'm like, oh crap, Mark. Run upstairs, put the lights on, throw the camera on. I was like, what the hell? Dude, we got a hell of a show for us tonight, huh?
I do have a hell of a show for us tonight.
I'll tell you what, the show that we had on Friday night, that was killer. I had a blast. What's that?
Tell me about it.
The G.I. Joe show. That was awesome.
Oh, that wasn't Friday, brother. That was last Wednesday.
Tuesday night. Then, no, Friday night was with
Marissa.
Marissa, yeah, that was Marissa Pope. That was a great show too, man. We had some good times last week,
dude. Yeah, we did. I love Diana, man. I thought everything that she was talking about. She's the ultimate fan for G.I. Joe, and I love G.I. Joe, and I've never met somebody like that. You know what I mean?
It was funny because the way
on the books now, like where she belongs.
That's what I was saying. The way Diana, the way she was talking, was at first I was like, oh, okay, the way she was talking and everything and all the history that she knows and all of the details and getting into the nitty gritty and everything. I was like, wow, she really is into her work. And then when I found out, no, I just help them. I do the research and I do this. I was like, holy cow, you are just a super fan. Blew me away, man. I mean, she's just like insane. I thought she just takes Superfan to a totally different level. I mean, I thought me being a super fan for Superman or especially Macho Man, but I just some respect for her, man. Diana, much love and respect for you. You belong up here with the Angry Geeks crew of being a true to life super fan. That much I got to tell you. That's just insane.
I'm really
Am
excited
I
to have
right
her
or
back on.
wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Oh, you're right, my friend. We're gonna get her
Yeah,
back on. She's gonna
for
be a
sure.
great guest for years to come, dude.
For sure.
We are
And
gonna play. Uh, we are gonna play the Hellbringers, the ties that bind us
are you gonna make
video.
me cry again?
No,
That
no,
because
no,
I
no, no,
love.
no. We're not gonna play. We're not gonna play that one.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we have a let's see. We have a Kickstarter that we're
Mhm.
about to launch in about a week. So I am gonna put the banner up for it
Mhm.
right here, guys. And if you go right there on Kickstarter, you're able to follow the project. We just launched it today to where you can follow. So check it out. We'll go ahead and play that video right now while we're waiting, and then we will be 100% into this here in just a second. Lewis, you waking up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm getting there, brother.
Awesome. There we go. Eric Castiglia, take it away. This is on the Hellbringer soundtrack, ladies and gentlemen, SilentMayhemProductions.com.
She seeks her husband, the devil. With a net to travel to the ancient capital of Cito de la Fe. They're sneaking through the volcano slave and across God's eyes. And not navigate underground into dark cave. Well, Lilith has a secret in her chamber of penance. One for the Venus armor and weapons. From around the fire now, what's this that? These are the time that bind us. Betraying all we know that will take us far. These are the time that bind us. To wage war against the enemies, Lucifer, Morning into the town, through the underground gates, meets a new warrior monk, made by the curse slave. To love in the air, but then the throat to the throat, dagger in the throat of Ravenna. Death war, surrounded by artist demon gods, with both drawn and sword out, with the bottom traitor, kiss Ravenna hand. Falcon even says his last final sword goodbye. These are the time that bind us. Betraying all we know that will take us far. These are the time that bind us. To wage war against the enemies, Lucifer, Morning Star. These are the time that bind us. Betraying all we know that will take us far. These are the time that bind us. To wage war against the enemies, Lucifer, Morning Star.
All right. So, Lewis,
Dude, I tell you, the music, I love the music. Yes. Why don't you
we got a
send me a
comment here.
3 of the sound. What's that?
Lewis and a pro wrestler. Woohoo!
Jack Purcell, DC Comics,
In the
Faces and
house.
Heels podcast. My brother from another mother. Yo, Mark, you gotta send me an MP3 of that soundtrack, man. That's killer. I love it.
Yo, man, you're gonna be able to buy the CD here soon, man. I'm gonna have that thing all set and ready for Rhode Island. We got 6 songs on there for you. All those that haven't heard any of them yet, you're gonna be hearing them soon.
Dude,
So
I
it's
am.
for you to
I
read
am
your
digging it.
comics with. I just wanted to give you a little something to read your comics with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
So,
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Lewis, this is gonna be a wrestling show tonight, my friend. This is gonna be right down your wheelhouse.
Right.
I'm gonna be bringing in a bunch of pictures that December sent to me a little bit earlier in the day. And as I bring them in, we'll talk about them. So do me a favor and kind of guide the show tonight for me, okay?
Oh, absolutely, brother. Yeah, I could do that. Top of the line.
Without
Yeah,
any
like the Silver
further ado,
Cloud.
ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring in December Lace right now. What's up,
Ooh.
December?
I gotta say, I'm digging that shirt.
Oh, what,
You brought
my
that
shirt?
in
His
cream
shirt?
of the crop, yeah.
Oh, his.
Oh, you should have
No,
seen.
of course,
If you
she's
were
not
digging
talking
this
about
shirt
Bob Ross.
last
What am
week,
I talking about?
if she was digging this shirt last week, she should have saw what I was wearing last Friday night. Yeah, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Not supposed to be wearing
That's what I'm
anything on
talking.
Friday night. That's prime real estate.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying right here. And you know what? I do usually do a rap at the end of every show, but now it's Wednesday night. I'm feeling a little bit randy, if you know what I'm saying. So,
Randy Orton?
yeah, maybe I'll come up with, not really, but no.
Randy Savage.
Maybe I'll come up with something. Yeah, Randy Savage. Yeah, I'll come up with something a little bit special just for you tonight. How about that? Yeah.
I mean,
happened so
I feel
fast.
special
we didn't
because
talk about it.
I warranted the Randy Savage shirt, so that I'm not worthy of that. That's amazing.
Well,
He is.
I
Randy
dress
in
like
every
this normal
show.
all the time.
Every
That's
show,
right.
this
That's
man's
true.
got a little Randy.
May, why don't you pull up one of the Mark May? Why don't you do the video scope right now? Why don't you pull up something that I usually wear on a weekly basis? Can you do that, brother?
Yeah. Let me go in there and see if I can find something.
Yeah, let's go to my profile pages or something like that and pull something up. You know what I'm saying, right there.
Oh my God, I got you, brother. I
Yeah,
got
you
you.
can pull up something like that. And all these costumes are homemade too. You know what I'm saying, right there. Yeah. Now I'm a
You're
little
making
under.
these
I'm
yourself?
tired.
This is pretty special because normally people talk about my wardrobe, so to deviate from that, this is a pretty special occasion.
Oh, your wardrobe, huh? Good thing we didn't wear the same thing tonight. That's what
I know that was a 50-50 shot right there. I almost wore the cheerleading outfit. Yeah.
Me too.
played it
I didn't
safe.
want to clash. Yeah. Wow, that would have been pretty embarrassing if I wore my.
Yeah, I figured. Oh, look
Ooh,
at that.
Look at that. No, Mark, get the other one. Get the other one, brother.
Excuse me, sir.
yeah,
I am trying to download stuff for December.
My God, I don't know if I have anything
Don't
on
make
here.
it too hard on Mark. He put a lot of time into the show, and we're switching away from what he had planned already.
Yeah, I know.
You're being way too demanding right now.
Lewis, send me a picture via messenger,
I'm sorry,
please, brother.
Send you a picture via messenger. All right.
That way I
Let's
can
see
show
what I
all
can
the
do.
folks out there.
All the folks do the video scope of what I dress like on a normal basis. Good thing I didn't wear my cheerleading outfit today because then me and December would have matched and that would have been bad.
I almost wore that.
Sometimes
I didn't wear that today.
Yeah. Oh, well, sometimes, yeah, Jamie and I match every Monday night. Now I wear the Wonder Woman suit. She wears the Wonder Woman suit. And it's, it's not good. Anyway,
that's
this show is not about me and it's not. This show's not about me and my wardrobe. It's kind of about you and your wardrobe, or about Mark and his thing. So let's get through on with it.
Or lack of wardrobe most of the time, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm wearing pants tonight. It's only on the Angry Geek Show. Sometimes I wear
always
pants.
wonder because it's shirt up, so you never know. You know what I mean? December, we're gonna run right into it. Okay, we're gonna run right into it. Okay, so have you ever done a comic convention at all?
I've been to them. I haven't been at as a guest, no. But
What's
I've been to a lot of
What's
them.
your
Yeah.
favorite comic convention to go to?
C2E2.
C2E2 out in Chicago.
Mhm.
What's your favorite thing to eat when you're on the road?
Food.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean,
Food's good.
I like stopping at
food's
the
good.
mom and pop cafes, so I'm pretty sure like everybody has an eclectic thing when you're out there, but it's so hard to do that. Normally, it's like you get out of a show and it's you have your choice of like Wendy's or McDonald's or gas station food. If you can, I'm so happy to hit those mom and pop diners that are like 24 hours where they actually have stuff that is food. But if not, I'll go to McDonald's and I'll get oatmeal.
What's
And
your
worms.
favorite thing to eat?
Always get worms at McDonald's.
My
What's
favorite
your
thing
favorite
to eat,
thing to eat in
period.
general? Yeah,
In general, tater tots.
tater tots. So I had pizza tater tots this past weekend for the first time. I've never had anything like that before.
What was that like?
Honestly, those are like I think that's the only way I can eat tater tots, man. Like, there's gonna be no other way from now on. I'm gonna bring up this first picture here that I finally got. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this one right here?
Oh, Mickey James came in and she was talking smack in my home fed, so I came in there and told her she couldn't do that because I was the star, and then she's like, I'll make you famous, and then she gave me a DDT into the mat. Whatever.
How awesome is that?
It's Aaron. Hey, Aaron.
Here's a comment from Aaron. Hey, Napoleon, give me some of your tots. Love that movie.
Mark, check your messages there, Mark May.
Checking them right now, sir. Checking them right now.
Aaron's awesome. Dude, you keep rocking it out, man. You're amazing. Did you guys see his Turtles cover that like nobody is able to get ever?
Is that that's Aaron Barkley, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't even see the name. I just saw Aaron. That's pretty cool you're watching, bro.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I've
Thank you.
The day that I get to work with him will be a happy day for me for sure.
That's a happy day for everybody. I'm so happy whenever somebody announces he does a variant, because it's like I've told everybody this. It's like he does not fail on like anything. It's not that he doesn't fail. It's like he always knocks it out of the park. So like whenever he announces anything, I'm just like, yep, sign me up. I don't even need to have an idea of what he's doing. It's like I'm automatically in because he's just gonna like just smash it. It's just awesome. His state cover, oh my god, it was awesome.
So here's Lewis December in one of his outfits.
That'll be good coming up.
himself.
Are you gonna wear that in a week or so?
I wear that all the time. Go to the next one, Mark May. Go to the next one. I got a new one that I'm debuting. I dress like this this is like normal for me.
Now, where do you wear that to?
Around the house, to the church, to the grocery store, and to the motor vehicle department. Yeah.
I bet you go to the front
And
of the
on
line.
stage, when I'm hitting the stage with the celebrities, when I'm out in the stratosphere. So when I'm soaring with the eagles, slithering with the snakes, and when I'm everywhere in between, I'm wearing outfits like that. Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if we have any
I just
Sunny
woke
fans
up.
here, but if we do, I hope you wear it with the Birds of War.
Oh, Sunny in Philadelphia. I never watched that show. I don't like the little guy. He gives me the creeps. Kind of reminds me of the Penguin.
We got a big surprise at the end of
Freak
the show,
out.
tonight, guys. Big surprise.
What's
at the
that,
end of
Mark?
the show.
Oh, big surprise.
Aaron, how do you not know this, man? That's like half my pictures, more than. But that's all good.
So December, why don't you start out telling us how you started your career? What got you into professional wrestling? Tell us all about the start. I know you were probably a fan growing up as a kid.
Definitely.
So tell us about everything here.
Well, initially when I first saw it, I thought that I was watching Mortal Kombat on TV. And I love Mortal Kombat, and I always have. So I first saw a wrestler named Glacier, and I thought it was Sub-Zero.
Glacier from WCW
Yeah.
1996. Y'all in the house.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
you and Hot Rod.
That's right. Also known as
Hey,
the
I know him.
Maniac in Sunny in Philadelphia for you Sunny fans out there.
Oh yeah, that was amazing when he was
Right?
on that
Like
journey.
oh man,
my
I love
god,
it.
I
It
loved
was
it.
I think it was like that year, like shortly after that episode when he came in, and I was like, I mean, I just crack up thinking about when he did that. But I saw Glacier on TV, and my little brother was watching wrestling, and I got so excited seeing that because I had never seen anything close to Mortal Kombat on TV, like a real thing, and I started watching it, and that would be our thing, is watching wrestling. And when I got I just never stopped watching it, and when it was at its peak in 1998, I was just so hardcore into it, and I kind of took a break from watching it. There weren't a lot of women in wrestling at the time, or at least ones that I could identify with, so I kind of got it in my head that I should do something about that, like change things a little bit. There's a saying like, be the change you want to see in the world, so I wanted to make things different, make things better, and I was like, I know that I can do that if the guys out there can do that. So I stopped watching it for a little bit. Like I finished my high school, and when I moved up here to go to college in Chicago, there was a training school for wrestling, and I was volunteering at a haunted house, and one of the other volunteers was currently training at the school, and he was trying to impress me, and he's like, oh, do you want to come with me and go to practice with me one day? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go. And then when I went in there, the Federation didn't have a lot of women, and they're like, do you want to give this a try? Do you want to see how it goes for you? And then you can see if you want to continue training. I lasted longer than the guy did. He was only there for like 6 months, and when I was in the ring, they're like, you're better than this guy, like we hope that you stay. And he didn't like that too much, so he didn't really last too much long after that. And I stayed for 8.5 years, my whole career, until the company shut down, I think like about 6 months after I left. But I stayed my entire career, and it was the best time that I ever had.
Wow, it sounds amazing. Like, just so you know, my dream would be to be a professional wrestler. So
It's the
that
closest thing that you can do to being a superhero, at least I
yeah,
think.
Oh, I
absolutely.
agree. I totally agree. Absolutely, 100%.
Tell me about
100%.
wrestling jazz here.
That was a couple of years into my career. One side of wrestling that a lot of people might not know about is custom matches, and that was a custom match. So there are federations out there. This one was an all-women's federation, and they take requests from fans if they have like a lineup, let's say like Mortal Kombat style, and they tell you who you have to pick from, and they can select the opponent. And then they tell you who they want you to fight. And Jazz was there, and they selected me as an opponent for Jazz to fight. And she beat me up. And then what they do is they send footage of that to the customer, and the customer essentially pays for a match.
That's really cool, actually. I don't think I've actually heard of this concept yet in wrestling.
Yeah,
So
it's a legit thing. It's still wrestling. I mean, like, I still have an opponent. I still wrestle in a pro ring. There's still a referee. There's still the promoter there, and there's still people watching. It's just they select, like, the fans pick the match, essentially.
right. It's really cool.
So how long have you been involved? How long have you been involved in the game? How long have you been working? And what was the hardest? Go ahead.
Well, I think that you're cutting out a little bit. I heard how long have you been involved, and I'm not sure if that was a whole question.
All right. How long have you been? I'm sorry about that. Let me rephrase that. How long have you been involved in the game? And my second part of the question was, what was your first bump, and how hard was it?
First bump is a nightmare, and
Always. I
yeah,
still feel mine.
yeah, it's not
So
good.
what
I
was
was
it? You mind sharing?
yeah, I mean, I'm in practice, and
Okay.
they're teaching you how to fall, and I
Mhm.
mean, I didn't do it right, so I remember that, so you don't do it the next time, or try not
Mhm.
to, and it's painful. A lot of misconceptions are that wrestling doesn't hurt, and like people on TV make it look easy, and it's like that's really not the case. Especially like the place where I trained. Our training ring wasn't the same as the ring that you see on TV. It's called a pony ring, and it's smaller, and the ropes are they're tougher, and the ring itself, like when you bump on it, it's a lot harder. Like there's like not enough padding in there. That's like if you
So
have a
you
ring,
were. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the padding itself, it's very minimal compared to what you see on TV. So for shows, we had the same rings that what you see on TV are like, but for our practice ring, our bumping like would be really severe on us, so that when we got to the ring, it would be easier on us. But some places are lucky enough that they have the same ring, and you don't feel a difference. But to us, it's like our ring was kind of like a cloud when we got up there for showtime, but in practice, it was very painful.
So I'm gonna assume that your practice ring was a 12 by 12,
Yeah.
no spring, with not plywood underneath, but the 4x4s underneath for your suspension on top of the ring. And your ropes were probably elevator cables like prior WCW. Those are the same. That's the same ring that I trained in.
Yeah,
When
that
you,
sounds right.
yeah, because when you later on, when you started performing in front of a crowd, you were then
We
in a 16 by 16.
we did have plywood, and then we switched it
Yeah.
to the 4x4s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, plywood is so much softer, so much easier. The
Yeah.
4x4s kill. Oh, they kill your back, but it does train you and it does help you for those floor spots. So you're at least if you're getting slammed outside the floor on a mat, you're ready for it, especially being inside the circle. So what do we
Yeah.
got going on here in this photo?
That's my sworn enemy, Angel, and I'm putting her in a submission hold for the show where we brought in Scott Hall.
Oh, cool. Cool. Now,
And,
when you were working with Scott Hall, all right. Now, who makes your ring gear? You make it yourself? Do you not make yourself? Do you have it commissioned? Ring gear is
No,
like it all your present.
See, there's a lot of girls that have theirs commissioned. This one I didn't make myself, and I didn't have it commissioned. There's an online cheerleading store that I lucked out and I found, and they had outfits that I really liked, so I just picked from that site.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky there.
Here she is with one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and
That is
somebody
my
that I've
all-time
met in
favorite
person,
wrestler.
Mr. Steve Borden, ladies and gentlemen. He actually signed my NWO authentic replica belt, and I told him to put anything he wanted to on it, and he put 2 Bible verses that I went home and read, and it pertained just to me. That's how awesome of a dude this guy right here is. I love the fact that he's still wrestling and the fact that he still freaking got it. This is one of the coolest pictures I've ever seen. I have a picture with him as well. I just don't have it up right now, so I can't show it to you. But tell us about your experience with him, December.
I don't get flustered a lot with people that are of celebrity status, but he's one of them because he's been my favorite wrestler the entire time that I've been a fan, and I about fainted. It was just such a long shot that my company would be able to get him for our company to begin with. That when we found out that it was going to happen. Just everybody was really excited, and so many people were his like viewed him as a favorite that we were just so happy that he was going to be there and that we would get to talk to him. And for wrestlers, it's kind of like when what I think would be if you're an artist and like Batman somehow would come to life if Batman was your favorite comic book hero. Like if you're drawing him so many times and he just like finally came to life and would talk to you, that's like the equivalent of what a pro wrestler has, like talking to your favorite wrestler. And I know that, like, obviously, you know, you put somebody on a pedestal, you probably shouldn't do that with anybody, but it's Sting. The guy came from the rafters and saved WCW from all evil, and he had a bat, and he was
Stupid NWO Hogan always winning all the time against everybody. NWO Hogan always beating everybody until
Sting was redemption, and he won, and he saved us from all evil, and he was the good that was in the darkness, and he is the everlasting light. But yeah, that should give you some indication of.
I'm a little Stinger, guys, so that means I've been there since the '88.
Nice.
Just saying.
So December, do you see yourself?
Oh, by the way, guys,
Mark
Lewis, go ahead.
Oh, that picture is back in 1990. I'm gonna say 98 because I was in the ring from 98 to 2005 is when I got out of the ring due to an injury.
That would have been the time to wrestle.
That I tell you what, I was blessed, met a bunch of people, had lots and lots of fun. And Mark, I didn't want you to show all of these. I just wanted to show you a couple of them.
That's what I'm doing. I'm showing a couple. I'm on number 2. What do you want from me?
So just so December knows, I'm the real deal. I'm not just some idiot on the other side of the video scope talking and asking questions like a smart fan. I have played the game. Just so you know, right through the video scope right there.
The description of the pony ring, like I could tell.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, that way you know. Wait a minute. Yes, Amanda Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, I was a wrestler for a little while. And yeah, I just don't play the part. I am the part. I did play the game. Not many. Amanda is a fan of the Angry Geek show right there. Angry Geeks. That's my home. And yeah, Amanda, I was a professional wrestler for quite some time. Talk about it all the time on the Faces and Heels podcast with ink-slinging Jack Purcell, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the Mark Mayhem show and Miss December right down at the bottom. So, through the video scope, let's cut another promo, and I got a question to ask for Miss December. If you guys are done with your questions, I would like to get it because it happened so fast you can't even talk about it. Wow. Anyway, December, get the camera off of me and put it on the guest.
I don't know, man. That Catwoman cosplay
you're gonna cut
sweet.
A promo. Are you
gonna cut a promo my sister. Hold it. What? Quiet.
You got here.
Wait, the Catwoman cosplay. That is my sister from another Mister, the one and only that Wonder Woman, Jamie Dolan. Yeah, that's my co-host each and every Monday night. Mark, cut a promo for me on Angry Geeks, please.
Want me to cut a promo?
God. What? Huh?
I'm still trying to upload pictures that December sent me of the 2,400 pictures that she sent me today.
You asked me to send you pictures. You asked me to send you pictures, and I did. Okay, so
Mark May is a little bit slow.
Is Jamie Dolan the one that did the She cover?
Jamie Dolan is my sister from another Mister. No,
fellow cosplayer.
She's a cosplayer and co-host.
Yeah, did she do the cosplay cover for She, the Billy Tucci campaign, the latest one?
No, I don't think so. If she does, she did it without me.
Okay. I recognize the name.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
She's everywhere. Jamie Dolan is everywhere, and I'm always in her shadow.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That name sounds awful familiar, and if it was her, she did an awesome job.
Calling Jamie through the video scope. Did you hear that? You did an awesome job.
So December, tell
Now,
us about your time at Ohio Valley Wrestling.
that's
was-
my next question, Mark May. I was going to ask her if she sees herself in WOW or ROH or any other organization.
Well, she's already been in Ohio Valley.
Well, I don't wrestle anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't wrestle
Why
anymore.
not?
She's already been in Ohio Valley.
Well, why doesn't she wrestle anymore? That's what these are inquiring minds people want to know, or questions that inquiring minds want to know. Yeah.
The backstage politics kind of got old, and so I moved away from that, and I'm learning that comics has a lot of that too.
Yeah, it does.
And
so does podcasting.
Just like I don't know why people get so bitchy over stuff that's so petty. In wrestling, at least there was like someone injured me physically, and that to me constituted a reason. But they kept it together. But comics, I'm like, okay,
I know.
Can you guys like stop being like doing that for a while?
You want me to stop? I could stop. You want me to stop?
She's not. No, she's not talking to you.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm
What?
saying in general.
Oh, wow! Freak out! I was like worried. Okay.
No.
December and DDP.
Hell yeah, I love DDP, and I love DDP yoga too. I lost 22 pounds on DDP yoga
Really?
one time. Yeah,
dude, I need to try it, and I'm not kidding because I know it's work for a lot of guys that just smoke and drink all the time. So,
Mark,
I didn't
just
even
so
do
you know, excuse me 1 second, December, and not to cut you off, Mark, just so you know, December's not a guy. She lost 20 pounds. She's a girl. You just said that DDP yoga works for a lot of guys. I'm sure it does. But just so you know, she's not a guy.
I know, Lewis.
I'm just clarifying that because you said it works for a lot of guys.
So even if you do it without the meal.
And Ruby Riot?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. December, where were you here?
I was in Berwyn, Illinois for Shimmer.
Where all did you travel to during your career?
I wrestled in 9 states, but I primarily stayed in the Midwest area. I trained in Chicago, and I stayed in that area primarily.
This is you and Mr. Jim Cornette.
I love him.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
You and Kevin Nash. I love Mr. Nash as well. I actually drew a picture of Nash back in the day.
That's my older brother. Don't we look alike?
Totally.
Look just alike.
He even said that. We had a picture of us side by side, and we were both doing the same thing.
This one here, you can see December. Where you at?
I'm in the second row from the bottom.
Oh, to
second
the left.
From second to the left. And there's actually, I don't think that anybody has like enough time to like freeze frame this or play Find Waldo, but Asuka is on the far right.
I already seen her because Asuka's my wife. I already seen her. She's in the blue. I already picked her out. Trust me.
She's there. Bailey is in the third row from the bottom, third one from the right, and Ruby Riot is like right beneath me in the first row. There's a lot of ladies that Ember Moon is in there also. She's the second row, fourth one from the right. But a lot of ladies that are either in AEW or WWE or TNA Impact now. But this is an all women's group that was focused on wrestling, so you had to like really train and know how to wrestle in order to be in this group. And this was always a big goal of mine to get there.
This is really, really cool, December.
Thanks.
To see what you have accomplished and to see all these different pictures of your career so far, and what you've done. This is one of the coolest shows I think we've ever had, because I mean, first off, I'm in all of what you do. It's got to be so fun to go out there because I mean, you guys know I love to talk, so to be able to talk like and fake, beat up people sometimes, even though you can't really call it that, like I'm just saying, like that would be like the best ever. You know what I mean? Tell
It
us about
definitely
the
gets the stress
rush.
out.
What's the rush like
There's no substitution for it ever.
at
Like,
all?
no.
Mm-mm.
But there's well, I mean, to be fair, I've never taken drugs or drank anything, so I wouldn't be able to compare it to anything if I knew what that was like, I guess. So I can't really fairly say anything. But even if I knew what that was, I probably wouldn't want anything else, because I love the adrenaline coming from fans and them cheering me on and having them elevate me. That's the best feeling in the world.
I think the equivalent
You're
of that
about
for an
to,
artist is likes on Facebook.
Huh?
I said the equivalent of that for an artist is likes on Facebook for his piece. That's all I'm trying
I
to
don't
keep
know.
our
Like
guys.
wrestlers really like likes on pictures of them too, or promo likes and stuff like that. But if you got up in front of an audience, I'm sure that they like their applause and all of that would be the same too.
Mark, I'm going to say something out of character, totally straightforward. December, you are in a group that I could probably count on both hands, myself included. You said you don't do drugs, you never drank, nothing. I'm the same way, straight edge. In professional wrestling, I've only met a handful of people from back in the 80s and 90s that can say they didn't do that. So I do applaud you on that, especially in a business that is full of snakes through roses and thorns. Um, it was very odd to be in the dressing room, and when they were passing around, alcohol and what have you, going, no, 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 thank you. You had to be polite, especially when it came time with the legends. Did you feel like an outcast at times when they were saying, "Hey, do you want this? Do you want that?" Did you feel like an out? Because I did, but you always
Oh God, no.
respectfully. You did feel like an outcast. All
No.
right, I was like,
They
no, I politely declined, and they respected that. But it was also like, I I alienated myself because that's not my scene, and never was, never is, and never will be. But it was just
no.
like, why would you do that to yourself? But then again, here I am getting hit in the head with a chair or a stop sign or something else. So, but I'm like, I no, it's different. Even to this day, it's different. Won't do that.
Well, I don't practice straight edge to practice straight edge, like out of a conscious effort to do it. I mean, I don't touch drugs. It's just a personal thing. Everybody has their own thing. I don't judge those that drink, smoke.
Yeah, no, nor do I. It's just
Everybody has their
personal.
thing. The locker room that we had, though, my boss said that it was a clean locker room. If he found any drugs, anything, that they were out of there, because this was a more like a hobby to people, and people that wanted to be there would be there. And like, if you were looking to do like a wrestling thing where you were going to be cutthroat, or if you were going to be someone that was manipulating your way through the business, that was other feds. We were here to be a family. We were going to train together, and we were going to like be like a brotherhood. So like, he didn't want us to do drugs. He wanted us to finish our colleges, because a lot of us were college kids, or a lot of us had already started families, and he wanted us to continue with a good balance. And he's like,
Bravo.
Drugs are going to mess you up. Don't do them. To those that were under the impression that wrestling was full of that. And we didn't have that. To clarify on the drinking, I did like try some drinking, because I don't want to like give the wrong impression. It just tastes like a doctor's office to me. And I get really bad headaches. So I just don't do it. I'm not missing anything, and I can't have, I shouldn't have anything but with my medicine that I take. So I
Same
I
here.
just never
Wow,
I just never
unbelievable.
got into it.
Yeah,
And then
me neither. Same way.
yeah, but like all of the talk of hangovers and all that was enough to scare me the hell away from them, because I get bad migraines anyway, and they're exacerbated from all the bumping I did in the ring. So it's enough to
Exactly.
like just keep me away from them forever. So everybody that does drink, after a wrestling show, people would go out for beers and all that, and they would definitely say like, "Hey, we're going out for a beer. Do you want to come?" And I'd be like, "I'll get something to drink with you, but I'm not going to drink." And they're like, "Oh no, that's cool." So they
Yeah.
never pressured me, and they totally understand.
Cool.
And people were mostly like, "Hey, I don't want to like disrespect you or anything, but why don't you drink?" And then I tell them, and they're like, "Dude, that sounds awful, man. I'm so sorry." And they were really cool about it. And
Yeah, afterwards. Yeah, I mean, I too suffer. What do you take for my migraines? I take Imitrex and Supermitrin. What do you take? We're getting
my
real
doc,
personal here now, Mark.
no,
Personal
my
fuck
doctor,
right here.
my doctor came up with it's metoprolol and topiramate.
I think I had
And
that one, but it didn't work for me.
yeah, there's a couple that are like she had to balance it out, and it took her years to figure out a combination.
Yep,
And
me too.
so it's like, and they don't cure your migraines either. So I just want
No.
to like just tell everybody
you
that
should.
yeah.
I'm going to tell you a quick trick to try when you start to get a migraine. Take your medication. Sometimes did they ever give you the nasal spray? Don't do that because it sucks. Take some Bengay or some Tiger Balm, right, and put it on your forehead and put it
Yeah,
on
I've
the
heard
back
that
of your neck.
one.
You did
Yeah.
hear it. Don't get it
Yeah.
in your eyes. Put it on your
Yeah,
forehead.
I haven't.
Get
That
it
one
in the
doesn't
back.
work on me, unfortunately.
Oh,
I have heard the
it does.
Alka-Seltzer. That sometimes
Ooh,
works. You get the lemon lime flavor.
I
It's the
can't do it.
lemon lime flavor, and you take 2 of those in the water, in the cup of water, and then you drink that. That sometimes helps. With I've tried like every kind of home remedy or thing that people could think of. At this time, my migraines are down to like one excruciating migraine per month that lasts for 3 days straight. But that's like the best that they can do, and that's like a good month for me. Sometimes it lasts twice a month, one on either side. So what that one thing that I have done though is I've gotten daith piercings in both of my ears over this year, so that I can like move them back and forth. And then what that does is I think it either touches or disrupts the nerve, so that when you touch that, like it stops the migraine a little bit. But it does work. It's not a cure either, because it still happens, but at least it takes it away. When he pierced me, when the tattoo artist pierced me, like I went in there with a migraine on both sides, both times that it happened, and it went away when they punctured it.
Well, I didn't want to get personal about that. Mark, get some questions going.
Oh,
I haven't forgotten about you, Mark. I know that you're there.
No, you're totally fine. Here's the thing: is Lewis actually has about 5 minutes before he has to jump off. How much time do you have to be able to talk tonight, December?
I didn't plan for you to end. I mean, everybody wants me on their show, so like I.
So then let me throw this at you. Can you stay a little bit longer after the 8 o'clock mark?
Yeah.
What coast are you on?
I'm on Central Time. I'm in Chicago.
Oh, all right. So what time is it?
So, Lewis, before you hop off here, I definitely want you to be part of what I have to show you guys. This evening. Right. So, are you guys ready for the big surprise tonight?
Yes, absolutely. Lay it on me through the video scope.
I will. Here comes.
Well, hello there, everybody. This is Velvet Sky, and I'm here to remind you all to check out the hottest new comic of the summer called Hellbringers, the ties that bind us. And I'll definitely be checking it out because if anybody knows how to bring the fire, it's me. It'll be launching on June 28th, and it's brought to you by the team of Ross, McLean, Ron, and Becky Rock. So make sure you check it out because it's gonna be so hot. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh man, Velvet Sky, ladies and gentlemen, for Hellbringers: The Ties That Bind Us, launching June 28th, which is 12 days away from now. We actually have
December should just
one.
come out of retirement and take her out. I'll be in the
I
corner.
should,
help
because
start-
I
her
would
and her
love to
tag
see that.
partner they put a paper bag over my head. Okay, like
You know what?
this is not gonna go unnoticed. Mark, you did this on purpose. Whatever.
Yeah.
I
You know
I
what,
sent you
December?
footage of this. Whatever. What?
Hold on.
You know what?
Hold
You
on.
know what, December? I tell you what.
I
No,
love
whoa,
it.
whoa,
She's-
whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
whoa.
She's in.
Whoa, wait a
She's in
minute. December,
Go ahead.
let's do
Go ahead,
this
Lois.
Rocky Balboa style. I'll be Mickey. You be Rocky. I'll start training you again. Right? We'll get you back out there, and then you go after Velvet Sky.
I'm ready to go right now. Who said I wasn't?
I'm
She's ready
just
to go
saying,
right
do
now,
the
dude.
video scope. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's go right now. Down that aisle. Dig it.
Mark, you've upset.
All your fault, Mark.
Hold on. Hold on. I gotta find the picture. I gotta find the picture.
He's stupefied.
He is stupefied.
Yes.
Oh, that's it.
I still have the bag.
Do you
Wow,
really?
Mark.
Yeah, I do.
Where's it at?
It's with my all.
It's gonna be
all
over
my
your
other
face for
wrestling
doing this, Mark.
memorabilia.
That's so
No, it doesn't.
Why
You
would you
don't put
do
it over my head. How dare you? It's with all my
No,
other wrestling
not you.
memorabilia with my posters and all that they made, but I kept the bag.
Here it
Yeah,
comes.
I said you were gonna put it over Mark's face. What the hell for doing that, Mark? That's it. You're coming out of retirement all the way to the top. Look at that. Wow, Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful people did that to her.
How dare they?
Unbelievable. I'm just saying, I feel like this is a rivalry on this show. Now, December, Velvet Sky, y'all book it. I want to see it.
Look at what you did. Horrible.
Don't degrade the champion at any time.
That's right. And you better listen to
Right.
him too.
Mark.
December, I love you in character. I think it's great.
I am not in character.
Uh-oh.
And I think that the spotlight should go on top of me. Yeah.
Got it.
I'm appalled, Mark.
Hey, Glenn.
We got a
Simply
comment
appalled.
here. Glenn
Don't change
Ackham.
the subject.
Glenn Ackham, who I did a cover for a couple weeks ago, his book, the Alma the King will be coming out here soon. And he has the original art. I shipped it off to him. I hope you enjoy it, Glenn. You're a great guy and you deserve it. So
Glenn, send me a friend request if you haven't already. I'll promote your book.
You didn't ask me for one.
I thought you were already on it.
I don't know. Maybe I got to check.
If not, send me one. I'll put you on there.
Absolutely. Mark,
yo,
you know what time it is?
it's that
Play
time.
time.
It's that time.
playtime. Yeah. It's that time. It's pumpkin time. What are you doing? Oh, you want me to? Oh,
Yeah.
now you got
Yeah.
to put me on the spot.
Yeah, duh. Do
All
it.
right. All right. Let's
Don't
see
act
what I
like you
can
didn't
do
know
right
this
now.
was coming. We're
I
23
know.
episodes.
I'm
into this show.
unprepared. I'm unprepared, and now I got to really dig one out from the bottom of the depths
23
because we got
episodes
December
into
on
this
right
show.
now. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's see if I can do this. Louis Perry on the Mark May show, where the ladies wear heels that are tall but bikinis that are small. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's my plan. Freak out, that's my jam, and I'm out. Ooh, yeah. How about that?
That was good. That was actually
Dig it.
really
Wow.
good.
Wow.
Dig it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I just pulled that out of the thin air tonight. Yeah.
All right, man.
December, nice to meet you. Pleasant.
Nice to meet you.
It was great. I would like to have another conversation with you about being inside that square circle. Mark,
Totally.
I will see you soon, my brother. Be careful, be safe, and everyone out in San Diego. Be safe, be healthy, be well. Blah. See you guys next week. Right here, I am Louis Perry on the Mark Mayhem Show. Blah. Wow.
See you later, brother. December, that was Louis Perry. What'd you think of that guy?
I think he really likes a macho man.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. So let's get back into your career just a little bit and start asking a little bit more questions, get a little bit more in depth with the questions of your career. When did you know that you were going to have your first match, and what was the feeling like since you had been training for all those months?
I wanted to get it over with. The first match that I had was against somebody that nobody else in the company really wanted to interact with, but it was kind of a necessary thing. So they paired me with this person. But for a first like real match, I was really excited because then they put me with the person that I got to help with choosing, somebody that had adequate training, and that someone that would be able to have a good match. And I was really excited about it, but also really nervous. I always had really bad anxiety on show days, and yeah, my very first match though, I was just like, I just want to get this over with. It was a person that wasn't really mentally there, so
so you were scared like she might try to hurt you, or
yeah, and not even try deliberately, but just
you just thought you might get hurt. You couldn't
yeah.
trust her in the ring, basically.
No.
Did you ever feel that you couldn't trust people in the ring
yeah.
more than just that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you go in knowing that?
You have to be tougher and smarter than the person that you go in there against. You have to know how to protect yourself at all times. It is hard though, because sometimes that person like is in there with your friends, and your friends might not know how to protect themselves against that person. That's one of the hardest things, I think, in the business. I didn't really worry too much on my end, because I had trained enough to know how to defend myself if it ever came to that, but I wasn't sure about some of the newer people or some of the people that I was friends with against some other people that were causing problems. Not everyone was like that. It was actually very few people were like that, because most of the people were cool and they just wanted to be good athletes and put on a good show for everybody. But every now and then you have a POS that wanted to go in for themselves and want to make it harder for everybody. And in that case, you have to you just really have to be tough. And if they try anything on you in the ring, then you have to put them in their place a little bit and let them know that there is no place in wrestling for people that go out and deliberately try to hurt people.
Yeah. I mean, the worst case scenario of that was when the girl broke the other girl's arm, right? What was that happened a few years ago?
That was Courtney Rush was the girl that got her arm broken, and Rosemary, and Sexy Star was the one that went in and did it deliberately. Yeah.
That was a terrible situation.
Yeah.
Really, really, really horrible. Wendy Steen Shaner says hi to both of us. Thomas Bishop says, "Hey everyone, how you doing?"
Yeah, you never ever want that situation. It doesn't do anything but make the entire wrestling industry look bad. It doesn't make you as a wrestler look good. I mean, it certainly doesn't do anything for your opponent, but injure them. You really don't want to do that. It's
Yeah,
just bad for
I mean,
everybody all around.
I would think that that's the worst possible mistake that you could make as a wrestler is to actually hurt somebody.
If you do it, and there are so many people that unintentionally do it that just feel horrible about it. You know, that people that would never ever on purpose hurt somebody that have accidentally done this.
Right.
Every time that you go in there, you know that something could go wrong in the ring, but you go in there anyway. Like you know that like on a regular move that you take over and over again that something could go horribly wrong, but you go in there and you do the best that you can do, and it's up to you and your opponent to train enough to make sure that that doesn't happen. But at the same time, stuff just goes. A rope could snap. I've been ringside when that happens, like just out of nowhere, a rope could snap.
Really, a rope snaps.
Yeah.
I've never even
Um,
heard of that.
yeah, a
What
rope
happens
can.
when that happens?
If a wrestler protects themselves, they'll grab onto one. They'll grab onto one of the ropes and stop themselves from falling over. Um, if they don't know how to protect themselves, they're going over with the rope. Um, the Sometimes they'll fall in a weird position, but like
What's the
most of
nastiest bump that you've ever seen that you didn't think was an accident that you thought was intentional watching wrestling?
that I didn't that I saw that I didn't think was intentional.
That you thought was maybe intentional and not an accident?
Um,
Like I've got an example. Like when Psycho Sid power bombed Brian Pillman and just basically like tombstone pile drived his neck instead of actually like you could see him like aim to where he's gonna like drive his neck into the mat. Like what would you say was like the most devastating like move that you were like, man, this is I think this guy's trying to hurt this person or this girl's trying to hurt this person.
um, I do know of one, but I was told that it was intentional, so I already knew about it like firsthand. Uh, like I does that count or like
Yeah.
no
No,
prior
it's
knowledge?
no, yeah, it's any situation.
Um, I mean, well, and I watch a lot of Botchamania too, so there's competing factors
Oh,
in
those
there.
are yeah.
I've seen some shit. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of shit. And then there are people too that sent tapes in, and then they thought that they were like at a level that they were not, and then they sent some stuff that I should not have seen at all. Um, and again, I saw some like I've done some stuff I like that ended up horrifically. I'm not perfect at all. Just want to get that out there. But I've seen some. I saw a kick one time, and it was intentionally like she kicked with all the force that she could because she was getting upset at the opponent in the ring because she was just pissed at her, and I then they started exchanging forearms, which I'd wrestled both of them, so I knew what they felt like when they were both angry. Like I've been on the receiving end if either of them had gotten pissed, and I knew what that felt like. So I was like, yeah, they're both really upset in there, and it looked pretty bad.
Dang, that'd be a rough situation to be in. For you guys
Yeah,
actually start fighting it out. right there. I mean,
Yeah, and the result again was not good because then match just falls apart.
mhm.
Audience doesn't know what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
you look like shit in front of your peers, basically, is what you do. So.
Yes. Yes. Wendy Steen Shader asked a question. She says, "What is your favorite match ever, December Lace?"
I had one where it was a no disqualification match between me and the Angel, and I like that one the best because I tried really hard to I worked on that one the most, and I had to that's the one that I had to fight the most for, I guess, for it was the most storyline, I guess, that I was given with a feud, and I had a lot of say in it because I fought so hard for a say in that, and it was a stipulation match, so the no disqualification thing like that actually happened in a match of mine, which is something that really didn't happen too often. So I like that one a lot.
What'd you do in the match as far as like details of it that made it your favorite? Like what was some of the things that stood out to you moment wise?
I ricocheted a chair onto my head, a steel chair onto my head.
Oh my Lord.
Hi, Smithers. So I thought that my big idea of taking out my opponent would be to drape her over the ropes and to swing a chair at her, but she ducked out of the way and I swung it and it hit me back in the head and I took myself out.
Oh my goodness.
And
Did you ever wear the crimson mask? Did you ever don the crimson mask?
I have not.
You ever not?
No.
Did you ever have an injury while you were in the ring?
Yeah, I have a lot. Yep.
What is that like?
Um,
Do you continue the match?
I do,
Uh,
yeah.
did you ever have an injury that you didn't have to, or where it stopped you, I would say, from continuing the match?
It probably should have, but I continued anyway.
What match was that?
One of them was with Mischief in PCW's Dream Night 9. Not 9. I don't think it was 9. Might have been that. It was a Dream Night, but it was against Mischief, and my sciatic nerve just it was messed up so bad. It's nothing that she did. It's just that it got damaged a lot because of how my body is shaped. So just taking the amount of bumps that I had over time, it damaged it, and then that was one that just kind of just finally just took it out. And then I couldn't really move my leg because of all the nerve just shot right down my leg from the top of my ass cheek, right down, and I could barely walk. And then another one was I collided heads with TaylorMade at another Dream Night at PCW, and we went for a double hair toss, but the timing was off, and I smacked my head right into hers. I might have gotten her jaw, but whatever of hers got me right in the forehead, and you can actually see the goose egg in one of the pictures where I'm walking out of the ring, and it gave me a concussion, and the next I probably should have gone to the hospital, but I remember the next morning it was just really bad, but yeah, I could definitely tell that was a severe one because I was walking back and it was just my head felt really heavy and I was really confused, and it was not pleasant.
So what got you into cosplay, December?
Uh, that was the most dramatic shift ever. I love Halloween and I love dressing up.
We do dramatic shifts on this show. Trust me.
No,
You
it's okay.
didn't tune in 3 weeks ago. I've got this little crying emblem on here that I've put on my thing because it shifted so hard once upon a time. So I'm just saying. Um, so yeah, what got you into the cosplay besides, the whole loving Halloween thing? Like, because I mean, you've been on comic covers already. Like a lot
That
of people don't get that. So
well, that I attribute all of that to Wendy. She is like the kindest, most generous person ever. Like she took a chance on me. I still don't know why. I
well,
I
she
mean, I'm
says it right
forever
here. She
grateful
says
for it.
December is the perfect human. So
I'm not perfect at all, but thank you. That's like Wendy is for sure. She does awesome
so
Kickstarters and
I
she's just
like
really
Wendy.
really
I like
amazing.
Wendy a lot. I'm not just saying this. A lot of people know that I don't say shit to say it, period. Wendy is awesome because she came to me to try to do a crossover promotion, and she was the first person I ever said yes to. That's how much I like her. So
Yeah,
she's cool.
she is like we do not deserve Wendy. I'm saying that to like everybody. Like she's one of the very best things on this planet and I don't deserve her and I don't deserve what she did for me and I'll like spend the rest of my life trying to repay her for that.
Well,
And she's
it's
just
pretty damn
wonderful.
cool to be on a comic cover, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wendy
Yeah,
says, "Don't make me cry,
yeah.
ladies. Y'all want to cry on the show? Y'all can cry on the show."
I
That's all good.
might because I just like I mean I really wasn't having the best time and like I didn't even think she was going to. I thought that she just wanted to have me on for a stretch goal or something and then she was just like, "Hey, this is your cover." What? Like why do you want that? Like but yeah, she's really cool. I think that the whole I used to wrestle thing has a lot of uh, interest for people and
It sure does. It
like
brings a lot of momentum to
but see,
your cosplaying career.
that's the thing it's like everybody that I'm like bringing to comic people like I thought that they knew that because they like a lot of them were on my friends list anyway and that's like I just wanted to bring my fans to the fans that I still had to the comic people like during the virus and so like I thought that they most of them knew about it and I'm learning that that's like not the case and now they're like oh shit you used to wrestle and like that I think leads to it because I still don't really understand that like oh no I want to see you on the cover I'm like no you don't you want to see artist stuff on the cover and that's awesome they're like no we got a spot for you too really what okay
That's really, I think it's awesome.
I do
So
too. Like I'm very, very grateful for all of that. And
I wanted to make sure that got into the show that people knew that you're not just a wrestler now, that you're also a cosplay cover artist. What's your first show as a cosplayer going to be?
most likely C2E2 this year. I would like to get out of my home turf area. Whatever, Wendy, you are magic. Everything is magical from you. Um, I'd like to get out if I can of the area, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I'm trying. I'll get everything situated, but the way that time is going, this is still like I'm still very new, so um, I just want to make sure that the any fan base I can accumulate the promoters of said cons would get their fan traffic in if I were to be there.
Guys, December says she's going to be at C2E2. So if you're in Chicago in the area, maybe you can meet her. Be pretty cool. Guys, in the chat right now, I am throwing the link for Hellbringers: The Ties That Bind Us on the Kickstarter. That way you can follow the link right now We have a pre-link or pre-follow link that is going to be up for 12 days. During that 12 days, we need as many followers as we can get before we launch. So we'll try to build as much as we can for this one. This is the last Hellbringers book probably of the year. Definitely the biggest one of the summer that you're ever going to see. So please follow, back it if you like it. We got some awesome covers coming in December. Usually around this time, 8:20, we play the Lucio Perillo video. Would you like to watch it with me
I
real
would
quick?
love to. I was so happy when I saw that you got him. He's one of my favorites.
I have no idea how I did it, and you know what's even crazier? The guy that did the music in this video coming up is Adrian Von Zeigler. He's like one of the biggest composers in the world. He gave me permission personally. We talked, said I could use this.
That's metal.
So insane. Just completely insane.
Dude,
man.
people are so cool. Yes. I like hearing stories of people being cool. That's awesome. Claim.
Well, that's good
Claim.
news.
Claim.
Did I sell you? Have you been sold yet?
All you had to say was that Perillo was doing a cover. I was there for it. Did you see my post? I'm like, Perillo's there. I'm so there.
Dude, I really appreciate it. Need
Hell
all the
yeah.
support I can get because this is going to be the one that determines whether or not we continue to continue. So, I got one more video I want to show you. Another wrestler talking about Hellbringers, the ties that bind us. This is our second big surprise of tonight. I swear to God, it's not one of the beautiful people, December.
You did that on purpose.
I
Greetings
did
from
not.
California. It's the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. Now, anyone that's followed my career knows that in addition to being a professional wrestler, I'm also a huge comic book fan. Now, usually I'm a Marvel guy, but I'm also very appreciative of the guys out there making their own comics, doing independent comics, doing it themselves. With that in mind, I want to talk to you today about Silent Mayhem Productions. They're the guys behind Hellbringers, the card game, and Hellbringers, Sacred Heart, and Dawn of the Devil. Now, the next chapter in the Hellbringers saga is coming out, and it's called The Ties That Bind Us. And the guys behind the series, the writer Mark May, artist Ron Charles Williams, colors by Becky Fuller, letters by McLean McGuire, and the cover art and the graphic design by Russ Cassidy. These are the guys that are bringing the next chapter to life. On June 28th, they've got a Kickstarter to help fund the next chapter of Hellbringers. So go to silentmayhemproductions.com. Keep in touch, keep involved with the Kickstarter coming up. And guys, I just want to tell you best of luck with the new chapter. Keep making great comic books, and I'll see you later.
Let me tell you something about that right there. Like, that was the best cameo ever because I didn't tell him what to say. Okay. He knew all of that about Hellbringers himself. He knew all of it. He knew who the writer was. He knew who the artist was. He knew because I talk about him all the time. You guys know it. I talk about Russ. I talk about McLean. Every one of these videos you guys see, I'm just talking about my team. That dude knew what books we had done, knew that it was a card game before it was ever a comic. He knew all of that himself. That impressed the hell out of me. I'm going to hire that guy every time I do a book.
He's from Chicago. We know how to get it done.
I love that dude. I love him. I loved him when he was a wrestler as the Fallen Angel. It just makes sense to hire the guy. It's the Fallen Angel. We're talking about Fallen Angels in my book. I mean, come on.
I've heard like nothing but really good stuff about him. Like every time that somebody talks about him, they say like how awesome he is. And his in-ring work is fantastic too.
His in-ring work is one of the best of all time, man.
Oh, yeah.
Him and AJ Styles and Samoa Joe back in the day. Those were some of the greatest matches I've ever seen. That early TNA stuff.
Oh yeah.
James Smithers says, "Can we still buy the card game?" You know, it's really funny. Yes, you can still buy the card game. I made foil editions of the card game. Those are the ones that were always the limited, like sellout versions. They're paper decks that are always going to be available for set one, but set one's completely sold out on those foils. Set two is almost completely sold out on those foils. We still do have paper decks, and then set three we just launched back in October, and that had Mog Park as the cover artist, which was incredible. Nihai Rufino was the cover artist for the second deck. Yeah, first deck was Sanju is who we had do Demo Gargano for the first, which is the big baddie, ladies and gents, in Hellbringers. But you don't know it yet because we're several books away from all that stuff. It's insane. Like, we could do Hellbringers for years to come. But can you still buy the card game? Yes. Anybody that wants it, message me on Facebook. We can get you hooked up. The rules are on silentmayhemproductions.com. It takes 15 minutes to play. December, if you ever want to play, it's a lot of fun. So we could do like a little Skype thing and play the game. I play with people all the time, and I have never been beaten. Never been beaten.
Something tells me you have a little bit of an advantage.
You know, it's how you roll the dice. It's 2 dice, the deck of cards. It's how you roll the dice. So, and it's crazy. Like I was down 3-1 one time card wise because you play 5-on-5. You deal out 5 cards, and dude, you're gonna lose no matter what. No matter what. I roll.
Then
snake
why would
eyes
I want to
3
play
times.
with you?
No. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. Like I was dead to rights is what I mean when I was playing against somebody, and and it was 3-1, and I rolled Snake Eyes like 3 times and killed him, and I couldn't believe it because like I ended up winning the game, and he was finally going to beat me. Like this was a big deal, you know what I mean? Um, James Smither says I love Mog Park and Nia. Yeah, you
Right?
have to.
They're
They're
so
incredible artists.
awesome.
They are. And here's the other thing about this card deck. Y'all don't know this, but we have incredible artists in the card deck. Chad Harden's in the card deck. Ben Bishop from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in the card deck. Marat Michaels, Ryan Kincaid. The list goes on, ladies and gentlemen, for the people that did work in the card deck. Dan Fraga did work in the card deck. I mean,
I know all these people.
these
This art is
are
amazing.
amazing comic artists that did the individual cards for a lot of these. And Michael Mastermaker, who works for Star Wars, Marvel, and DC, Crypto, all of it. He does all of it. He did the majority of the cards besides me. So I did most of the cards. And, you know, I wish that I could go back and do the art from the ones from 2016 over again because of how bad they look compared to my art today. But you know, we had to
Do an
start somewhere.
updated expansion pack.
Dude, it's so much work. It's so much work for these. You have no idea. Like we're doing
I'm
set
not
4
saying
right
that.
now.
I'm just saying that there
We're
is so
ending
much
it.
Kickstarter to be made after that.
I hear you. We're ending it for set 4. We could make characters from now to the rest of, you know, time. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like there's 52 cards a deck, which means I do 36 to 42 character creations a deck, which means I mean that's one of the hardest things you can do is create a character, the details of it, everything. And to continue to do this with Hellbringers, I just can't do it. Like I can't do 5 or 6 or 7 more. Like we've got to end it at number 4, and then I've got a few other projects I want to do along with the rest of the Hellbringers comic series. So we're gonna keep it really limited, really awesome for you guys for that card deck, to where you guys like all the people that bought it before are gonna be like, man, like where do I get this? So like you can't get it anywhere. I did it to you on purpose that way. And that's also how these Hellbringers books are going to be in the long run. They're going to be so limited that you might not be able to find them anywhere. And that's kind of what I wanted, you know. Take care of your Kickstarter customers. But December. Speaking of Kickstarters, have you gotten one from me yet?
You know I did. I posted about it.
Did you get the Dawn of the Devil one? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've already got the books and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you think? Did you read it?
I read it.
Did you like it?
Okay, so here's what surprised me. You have holofoil on the back of your cover, and that threw me for a loop.
So
because it's on the front too, but it's on the title is where you can see it, and then you turn it to the back cover.
Foil. Yep.
Huh?
I'll tell you why. So I wanted to do something special for all of Shannon Mayer's backers. So you backed the trade version of the Shannon Mayer cover. You didn't back the chromium version. So you got a chromium, what was it, title, and the back still has to come as chromium. We can only do spot foil on the front. We can't do spot foil on the back too. So I still had to pay the chromium cost for the people that got trades. And I did it because I love my backers. So
That's
it
crazy.
cost double. It cost double than what it would have cost for a regular comic book for them. But I did it because, like, I love you guys. Like, you helped me put this book out. You know what I mean? So
you can definitely tell that you love doing your project too, because like I've gotten projects from people that it's clear that they don't really care what their name or what their brand says about them. They just
money.
they just kind of
money. And they got ads throughout the book too. Like I got a book one time that had 14 ad pages in it from Kickstarter out of the 28. And I was just kind of sitting there like, man, I don't ever want to read anything like this again. Like, so I'm like, I'm not going to do that to my customers. We have no ads throughout the entire story.
Yeah, I haven't come across one like that. I did come across one that they put their rewards like loosely in with the comic, and as a result, like mine got bent upon arrival, and I'm like,
Oh,
well, the point is though, it's like you can kind of tell who cares and who does not care, and you were not in
mhm.
that category. So your book arrived, it was lovely,
We
and I got
that's a one-man operation on the
there's
shipping, just so everybody knows. It's just me.
and it's like you can tell that there's so many ways that like you have a ton of time where your story can go from there. It's like there are infinite years that your story can branch out of.
Isn't that
And
isn't that isn't that great though? Like I've set myself up to literally like give myself all that creative freedom.
yeah,
Like I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck anywhere.
yeah,
That's I think that was my biggest thing when I was writing the books is I wanted to make sure that, you know, whatever I'm smoking right now might not be exactly what I'm smoking next year or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? To where you could change the story's timeline, you could change the story's outcome. Because we're playing around with a bunch of different ways this is going to end. And a lot of you people don't understand this yet, but all these different books that I've made so far in this universe are all connected. Jengar and Shred, Hellpug, Hellbringers. All of them are tying in. So if you haven't read all of them yet, we got a trade paperback maybe coming out by the end of the year. That's going to give you all the stories. So we're going to put them all in one book. So that'll be cool. December, we're going to get off Hellbringers now. They got me on a rampage there. I haven't talked about it in a week, so I had to talk about it. And we're going to go back to your wrestling career for just a little bit. We'll probably get off here in about 10, 15 minutes. I was gonna say, I like your light up unicorn thing
oh
on
thank
your
you.
head. That thing's cool. I'm just now noticing that it lights up. I didn't see that before. Um, what is one thing that you want to do now? Like we all know where you've been because you've told us. Where do you want to go?
um that's a really interesting question because I don't think it's really easy for me to say that with everything that happened in our world, because it's like if I set my hopes up for where I would like to go, it's everybody knows that in the past year that could change very quickly. I'm planning to go to Salem this year, so hopefully that gets to happen. I would like to
Is
do
that
that.
Salem, Oregon, or Salem,
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to do that. But I still want to write my own book, uh, or at least compile one of all my poems together, and get that going. I have people asking me about it, which kind of surprises me, that there's that much interest, and that floors me. So thank you to everybody who actually reads it. That makes me so happy that you do. I do want to do that, like more than anything. But I still want to promote all the artists and all the writers that want me to do that for them, during the crisis and beyond. And then still want to do cosplay. But I do cosplay that I like. It's boring or feel like a chore, so I'm not gonna go nuts over it or do it to the point where I get unhappy when I think about it or anything like that. I don't like having anything where it doesn't feel fun.
Well, that totally makes sense. This this used to be my getaway because I used to just do art as a way to get away, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden it became like that's I want to get away from art because that's all you do. You know what I mean? So like, uh, it's something when it comes to publishing. It's way more work
yeah,
than being an artist because now I'm not just drawing covers. Now I'm running a business, and this is a completely different job than just
I
being
bet.
Mark
Yeah,
May. He can do whatever the fuck he wants and just draw some covers sometimes. Now it's Mark May has to be on top of point, every second of the day, which is really hard for a guy like me. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It just seems like it seems like it's hopefully, the work that we put into these things pays off, I guess. Does that make
Well,
sense? Like,
it does, and I just want to say there is hope for you. My one of my favorite artists ever. You probably know him or know of him. He does basically what you're doing right now, and he has an amazing, uplifting, like upbeat, I'm having fun attitude about it, and hopefully, like I would say, just watch him because he does basically the same thing. His name is Jim Ballant. He does Broadsword Comics. He writes
nice.
Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, and it
Mhm.
comes out every 2 months. It's my favorite series to read. He's a fantastic artist, but he does everything essentially himself too, just like you. And he just posted today on Facebook saying how his days are like, everybody asks him what his days are like. And he's like, I do 10 to 12-hour shifts for like 7 days a week, and I love it. And it's still my favorite job, something like that. And that's awesome. And he's still really kind to his fans. And you'd never know that he's like one of like, he's like a true legend in this business. He
Oh,
did,
Jim's a legend.
yeah,
He's absolutely a legend in this
yeah,
business. He's done it all, man.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. And like have him rub off on you, and like just pay attention to what he does. And it's like
So
I think that you can do that
it's
too.
it's weird because like I know what I have to do. I know who I have to be. Like, it's the people tell you all the time, like, this is how you got to do it. This is what you got to do. Like, you got to stick to this. And here's the thing, is like I am just not that person. You know what I mean? Like, I am trying my best to just like cope with making 6 books this year. Like, a lot of people doesn't understand what this means. Like, I am on my phone 24/7. When I'm drawing a cover, I'm still on my phone, like sitting there drawing the cover,
Yeah.
having to answer edits at the same time. So while my brain is trying to focus on drawing this cover, I'm still having to focus on this guy's cover or this guy's interiors or
Yeah.
this guy's letters at the same time while I'm working. And guys, this happens all the time. I'm not making this up. I'm literally like working on somebody else's cover while I'm working on my cover at the same time. You know what I mean? Like this stuff happens in this industry, and I mean, you get a little burnout. You get that feeling of like, man, like I am just tired. But like, and this is what's different with me, I guess, as opposed to some guys. Like like I know I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun to say sometimes, like, oh man, I just take a little break or something like that, and then like you ain't going fucking anywhere. You've tried to go like other places. Like, and I'm the type of person that just can't get away from this industry. I can't get away from creating. I can't get away from drawing. Like, I've said it a million times. You could throw me in a prison cell and just give me a pencil and a piece of paper, and I'd say, fuck you, I'm having the time of my life. You know what I mean? So like it's I'll talk a lot, but I can't get away from it. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll ever be able to. Um, December, this is our first time being able to talk in
Mhm.
person, by the way, which is crazy.
You don't need to
Uh,
be anybody but yourself. I'm just saying that for a little bit of that inspirational kick, it always helps to have somebody that's doing pretty much what you're doing, and like just going, you know what, like today isn't so bad because they are in the same boat I am.
yeah, yeah. That definitely helps to see everybody else doing these Kickstarters.
I'll tell you why, because when I was like the very first time that I was wrestling, like I was like, why do I even bother? Like, why do I try? It was like my first month or so, but I'm like, why should I even try this? Like, I hurt so bad, and there's no way that I'll be able to learn whatever it was I was struggling with. And then I just took it like way down to basics. And then I was like, well, even Trish Stratus has to sleep at night. She goes to bed just like a regular human being. She has to go to bed too. She has to sleep. And you sleep too, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I do go to sleep. So we're the same in that aspect, right? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, well, if she is able to do that and you're able to do that, then you're probably able to do the same thing that she does someday. And I'm like, okay. And I was able to do the same stuff. Not everything, because I mean she's Trish Stratus, but I was able to do most everything.
Right. And Let me ask you how you feel now. Like, since you were able to do that and your career's over now, like, how do you feel? Like, you accomplished pretty much everything you wanted to accomplish, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, every now and then, like, I'll see something on TV and I'll miss it, but then I'm like, I see some of the product now. It's just really not something that I would want to be a part of, and I'm like, I got out when the timing was right, and I'm like,
no, WWE is absolutely horrifying to watch.
yeah,
Like,
I
compared to the product of what it was when I was a child,
yeah,
I mean, 98 was the greatest year ever for wrestling, and I was 13 years
yes,
old, and like, it literally, like, when you think of the mecca of what it was back then, compared to the shit show of what it is now,
yeah,
like, you almost have to question, like, if you leave one man in charge that has, like, no creative drive or, like, he's done it all already, like, he's killing the brand. Like, you gotta get him out of there. Like, and you know who I'm talking about.
yeah. A lot of people I think are trying to go that way, but I mean, it's really, I don't think it's not going to be that much better because the way things are going now, they have a whole bunch of TV writers and they don't get wrestling and they never will. If they had people that were in wrestling, they might, but it would have to be people like Jim Cornette that understand the business and that have passion behind the business. And a lot of times, what you have are people that maybe grew up watching it and they're like, oh, it'd be so cool if this happened, this happened. It's like, no, that's still not what's going to get you ratings, and it's not going to be a good story. And it's a lot of time, unfortunately, story has been seen or done, and people on online have been spoiled quite a bit because a lot of stuff had been done in 1998. Like they just kind of like did everything trying to outdo each other on Monday Night Wars. But I think that the best hope would be to get Jim Cornette in, but again, I don't think that he would do that. But yeah,
Now,
it's
are you talking about like AEW? Have you watched AEW at all?
um I every now and then I'll watch like one thing or another, but I won't watch a whole show.
So let me tell you, I have religiously watched it ever since it came out for 2 years, and I even went when they came to Colorado. Uh, I love it, man. Like, I love it. I love TNA back in the early days when Christian Cage showed up back then. I thought that was a good show back then for TNA. And like, it's weird because, it seems like it comes and goes as far as the popularity of each organization. But one thing that doesn't go is the the want for something new, the
Yeah.
want for something better, I guess, because of what they've already seen. You know what I mean? I guess that's the best way to put it is like for a drug addict, which I know you guys said you didn't do drugs or anything like that, and I don't either, but this would be the best way to put it is they take that that first hit and they love it and then they want to come back for more, but it's not the same. It just gets a little weaker each time, but they keep looking for something else. This is what it feels like with wrestling fans these days. Because the truth is if you go back and you watch some of these 80s and 90s matches, like some of them are lamer than shit. Like and you think in your head, you're like, no, no, these were great when you were a kid. And you're like, these were the best matches. And you go back and watch them, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
Like watching old Hogan
Hogan
matches. I'm just
Warrior
like,
was like that at
oh, it was
Halloween Havoc
terrible.
98.
Yeah,
That
Hogan Warrior
was
is the worst match of all time, but that was the match I watched the most as a kid.
yeah,
That was
as a
the match
kid
I
you
watched
like
the most
you
as a
didn't
kid.
know any better.
Mm-mm. But you go back and you watch it now, and it's a shit show. Like, and you're just sitting there like, how can this be a WrestleMania main event? They did
Yeah.
4 moves. They did four, you know? But I mean, what was your favorite match of all time? Like, we're gonna get off here in about 5 minutes, by the way. I think we're probably
Um
gonna end it with this one.
as a kid and as an adult, it's very different. I'll say that.
Yeah, what
Um
was your favorite as a kid and as an adult? That's a good
uh
question.
as a kid, it was Diamond Dallas Page versus Goldberg, at
It's a great
Halloween Havoc
match.
1998.
Where he had the ribs taped up.
I think it might have been that. I know that it was the one where everybody thought that DDP did legit have a chance against Goldberg.
Yeah.
And
I remember that one.
yeah,
He was way over because he was the second most
Yeah.
over guy coming up behind
Oh, yeah.
Goldberg in that year.
And yeah, just the crowd was nuts. And then as an adult, I don't think that a lot of people probably trying to think of the I enjoy watching a wrestler named Lacey. Her name is the lovely Lacey. She's from Minnesota. She's on Shimmer. She wasn't there when I was there. She's a couple of years before me. But she wrestled in Ring of Honor. She had a really good match with Daisy Hayes from Shimmer Volume 1. I don't want to say it's like that one is my favorite one of all time, but like just really anything with Lacey in it, like just she is just so much fun to watch, and I wanted to wrestle her so badly, but she stepped away from the business like right as I was moving through the ranks, and I'll never get to wrestle her. So going back to your question, that's one thing that I didn't get to accomplish. I would have loved to have wrestled her. That would have been
One
awesome.
more match.
Or
One
no,
more match.
no, I know what a match is. Amazing Kong versus Mischief from Shimmer. That's,
Amazing Kong.
Yeah, or Awesome Kong, as some people know her
Awesome
as.
Kong.
That match is
she
phenomenal.
Was great.
Yeah,
I thought she was a great. I haven't seen enough of her on the mainstream shows, honestly,
Yeah.
because
Well,
I mean
she's on Glow.
she's been on them.
Well, she's on Glow.
Right.
It's Shimmer Volume 9, I believe, and I was there live for that. I was in Berwyn when that happened, and the crowd was insane, and it was such a good match, and just everybody was on their feet, and it was so good. Just yeah, it's nuts. Like for people who aren't familiar, Mischief is 5'9", and she's a banshee. And she is black and green, like hair, and black and green clothes. And she screams, and she has no fear. That's her.
Awesome.
She comes out to death metal, and she's like she's kind of like Undertaker if he talked and if he went to a hardcore metal show. And Awesome Kong is like a total beast from Japan, and she's like, it's like watching Hulk and Thor go at it in the gladiator scene in Thor Ragnarok.
So
like or what I believed that would have been like.
My all-time favorite as a kid, WrestleMania 15, Rock and Austin. Like you couldn't beat the build to that match. Like I love Shawn Michaels and Diesel as a kid, but you go back and you watch those matches from like WrestleMania, I think it was like 12 and 11. Oh my God. It was rough. It was rough, man.
You mean it's not Hogan and Michaels and the oversell of all time?
Oh my God, that was hilarious. And you know, Hogan deserved that from Michaels, in my opinion. I mean, the dudes should have let Michaels, win. I mean, he's
you know what?
so
with
old
that,
in that match.
Everybody won with that one.
Yeah, what was that? SummerSlam 2006? Is that what that was?
Oh shoot, I don't remember. All I remember is that like it's a staple on my YouTube channel. I'm just like, well,
yeah, you
I
gotta
need
go
to
back
laugh
and watch
today,
it sometimes.
so here, let me see.
I always used to love watching Ric Flair matches because he would make me laugh all the time with his oversells as well. Anytime he'd take a chop to the a chest, or like anytime he'd like get hit, he'd fall down. He'd take a couple steps and just fall on his face. Those always crack me up. My favorite match as an adult, some of those NXT matches from about 3 years ago were pretty incredible with,
Yeah.
I'd say Sami Zayn and, was it, Pac? His name's Pac now in AEW. Sami Zayn and Pac was probably my all-time favorite from the current generation. So, I like Kevin Owens too. He's not bad. But as far as women's matches go, I used to love Medusa as a kid. I thought she was great. Did you ever watch
She's
Medusa?
yes. Yes.
She was my fave. So, well,
Back in the day, like my favorite
who
was
your fave?
Daphne.
It was Daphne back in the day, really.
Back in the day, yeah. But she didn't really start wrestling until like a little bit later.
Yeah,
Because
that
when
was 2009, wasn't it? Somewhere around there.
No, this was shoot, she would have been like 1999, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The women wrestlers that WCW had, they didn't show up until that time, so it was like Molly Holly. They brought in Medusa around that time. When I started really watching it, like 1998, WCW didn't really have women's wrestlers. WWE
No, they really
did.
didn't.
Yeah, WWE did, but I didn't watch WWE. So they had Chyna, but I didn't see Chyna until I was an adult.
Chyna was the Intercontinental Champion, for those of you out there that don't know that. She actually won the men's Intercontinental Championship too.
And she
which
could
is
legit wrestle.
awesome. Yeah, she was amazing.
Yeah, they didn't really have that many women who could really wrestle at that time. So like Sable was touted that she could wrestle, but she couldn't.
She couldn't.
Um,
I agree
yeah.
with you.
Yeah, Cornette
they
talks
were-
about that a lot.
Yeah, they were hiring mostly for looks and stuff like that, not, talent.
She did her job in that aspect. I mean, she was over huge with the crowd, but she couldn't wrestle. She didn't. She wasn't.
I'm just going to throw it out there, but I think the hand bra thing might have a little bit to do with that. Do you remember the painted hand bra?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that was
that was
like
the
an iconic
moment she
wrestling
just went
moment.
like
Yeah,
to the roof.
That was an iconic wrestling moment. Absolutely.
Do you think
Um,
that sex sells when it comes to women's wrestling?
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's a place for everything in wrestling. I don't think that wrestling is a place to discriminate. I mean, that's part of what makes wrestling terrific, is like there's a place for everybody.
For everyone.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to know where to use it, and you have to know where kind of your place is, because if you keep using stuff like that in place of actual talent, you're going to piss off the people that can wrestle and that,
Okay, so that's a perfect segue into my next question. Did you watch the Edge and Lita scene when you were a kid?
Yep.
So I must have been like 14, 15, and I'm sitting there watching that. And I didn't know how to feel, man. Like first off, Lita's hot, but this was weird in the ring because I liked her as a wrestler. You know what I mean?
I thought that
it
it was, well, I mean, I knew that they were doing it to punish them, basically. I mean, more to punish Lita, and I thought that it was like really kind of degrading and stupid, just to her, because
what a horrible way to punish somebody.
They do that.
Why
though,
would you
in
even
wrestling.
agree to do it? You know what I mean?
She
Unless
probably
you're
wanted to keep her
contractually
job.
obligated. Yeah.
They
Contractually obligated to do something like that has just got to be like sick.
Well, Trish had to do degrading stuff too to keep her job, and she talks about that in the DVD. They like the biography they made of her, because she had to get on her knees and bark like a dog before she was a wrestler. But she said that was like basically to stay on in the company, but it led to bigger things. And Victoria, for example, is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. She was a hoe in the hoe train for The Godfather.
That's how she started?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yep.
When you talk about I guess, like the most uncomfortable moments. That ranks number one for me in wrestling of all time. I've actually met Lita and Trish, so those were really cool interactions. But that one right there stands out as number one. What was your most uncomfortable moment in wrestling as
Uh,
far as watching it?
lately they've been so many of them. Like now it's like I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if they're just like that. Like
It's almost like aloof, right? It's almost like an aloof feeling, like
like
it's a
if they're
different dimension.
delayed enough to even think to themselves like, hey, this might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
I heard one of them, and I don't. This was on one of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, and this happened in 1999. And apparently, after Owen died, Triple H thought it would be a good idea to bump in the blood that he left. And that is the grossest thing that I've ever heard happen in wrestling.
Now, he did what now?
When Owen died, he left, supposedly, like when he passed away, he left blood in the ring, and the night had to still go on with matches, and Triple H thought it would be a good idea to bump in the spot where he passed, where there was blood.
So bump as in like take a bump in that
Yes.
spot. I
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, that's
that
sick.
is the like worst thing that I've heard in wrestling.
Jesus. Well, December, it has been amazing having you on tonight.
You're gonna choose to end it for that.
So hear me out. Hear me out for a second.
Okay.
So it's 9:04. We have gone an hour and 4 minutes past the time that we usually go with people. You are gonna have to come back because number one, I know that me and you can talk about wrestling from here till Kingdom Come. So this is going to have to be one of those things that you come back for sure. You're going to be a repeat guest. We don't have a lot of repeat guests December. I want you to be one.
I will. I'm just saying that I don't want to end on a sad note. I would like to end on a happy note.
Okay.
That would make me
well,
sad.
I tell you what. We will absolutely end on a happy note.
Okay.
Let's see. If you could make your own comic book, what would yours be about?
Oh, that's easy. That would be a total brat who doesn't want to be a superhero but ends up being one anyway. And the more money she makes, the more superpowers she has. But it's all funding.
Wow.
But it's all funding from her daddy's billion-dollar evil corporation. So she has to kind of do evil to do good.
So you've already got this planned out.
No, I just thought of that.
You just thought of it, really?
Yeah.
You should look into it. You have so many friends that make comic books, so if you ever actually wanted to do something like that, maybe you could write it yourself.
It'd be fun. I don't know if people would read it. I kind of like clam up at the thought of like nobody reading it. Unicorns and rainbows. Well, totally. I mean, like the characters like whole universe would be glitter and stripper shoes.
Wendy says, "Do it, December."
I don't know. The last time people told me to do something, stuff happened. And there were screenshots taken, and people are like, "Oh no, December's doing stuff. Everybody look at her page." And then people are like, "Oh my God, yes, do things, December." And then people think I'm evil.
Well, I don't think you're evil.
I'm not an evil person, people. Please don't be scared of me. I just don't think that you should have your money taken. That's all.
Listen.
Ha!
She takes a beating for you guys. Okay.
She's so scary.
We'll show this off one more time.
God, I love that so much. Okay, so I asked him because he had just got like my favorite thing that he ever did is if you guys are able to listen to him talk about the second Monday Night Wars, because this is when TNA and WWE went head to head, and everybody was talking about the second Monday Night Wars happening, and he lost it. He was going on a rant, and it was amazing. I love Jim Cornette so much. He's awesome. So I can't watch wrestling nowadays because like I'm just so disappointed with what the product is from what I've seen, and it's like Jim's hatred of wrestling is like my joy of it these days.
He's definitely more entertaining than the product itself.
Right? Like that's the funny part. And it's like that is how he gets me to watch AEW and like WWE. And
Did you ever
that
watch
stuff is
Dark
like,
Side of the Ring at all?
oh yeah, I'm obsessed with
He's
it.
on it. He's great
yeah.
on Dark Side of the Ring.
I've watched every single episode, and
Me too.
it's but the thing is, it's like he knows more than they tell you, so it's like he'll explain and he'll elaborate further. Like so, the last one, it turns out Kurt Hennig was the one that set up the rib that got who was it? Dynamite Kid all upset, and that's why he punched the French guy, Jacques Rougeau.
Yeah, and did you see what Jock did back to him?
Yes, and that was well. I mean, that wasn't awesome for his family. But
They said that's what screwed up
funny.
his career.
Yeah,
His career went all downhill from there for Dynamite.
I think it probably would have gone downhill with or without.
Anyways,
Jacques,
yeah.
to be fair.
I mean, man, he sounded like a real piece of work, especially when he turned the gun on his wife. I mean, that was horrible stuff. You know what I mean? And
Jericho's got a bit in his book about meeting Dynamite Kid. Like he went up to him in the bar with a pen and an autograph book, and Dynamite Kid saw him coming, and he goes, "Don't even fucking try it, kid." And Jericho just like turned and walked away. He was a kid. Jericho's book is amazing too, like his first one. I got the other ones to read, but
I've actually had an incident like that with a comic artist where I saw him in a hotel lobby before I started getting big, and I was just gonna have him sign a book. I wanted him to see it because I got all these other people to sign it too, right? And he was just not having it. He was like, "Man, get the fuck out of here!" And I was like, "Damn, like that just sucks that that's how it had to go." Because you look up to these guys all your life, and then they always tell you sometimes don't meet your heroes. It's like you were talking about earlier, how a wrestler would look at another wrestler like Sting and then be their hero. Like for an artist, we look at other artists that came before us, and those are our heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So imagine the first time you meet your hero, you're walking up to him, you're going to get it signed. Like you have this one chance. You never know when you're going to see him again. And then he's like, "Fuck you, get out of my face." Like one of the worst feelings you could possibly ever imagine. I'll never do that. As long as I live, no matter how big I get. Like if you guys see me in a Vegas hotel in the morning and I'm sitting there and I'm eating my little scone, drinking my coffee, even though he wasn't doing this shit, but I will be. Y'all can come up and I'll give you an autograph for free all day, no matter what. Period. From now till the end of time. You know what I mean? Why? Because I learned it from this guy to not be like that. You know what I mean?
I didn't have an experience with that. I just like when I was growing up, I was just like, if anybody is like so stoked to ever want to have my autograph and to meet me, like I totally just would do that. Like they don't have to pay me or anything. I don't want that.
Right.
Like yeah. And then I found out that like some people are like that, and I'm like, what? Why? Like that.
I had lunch with a fan one time. Like, not even kidding.
That's cool.
Like, why not?
We would do that at wrestling, though. We would, like, if fans would come by, we're like, hey, sit with us. We're having some pizza. We have extra. Do you want some? And then they would, they would hang out with us and, like, come after shows. We invited them. Like, that's, we always wanted them to come and sit with us. And, yeah, always be kind. Exactly. At least to fans. Like, your fans are why you're there. Like, don't ever get confused with some other reason. Like, your stuff is not why you're successful. It's because you're fans. Yes.
So when it comes to interactions, like I've seen that you've posted on your page, first off, fuck that bullshit. Second off, you're never gonna have to worry about that if you buy Silent Mayhem Productions books. The worst thing I ever said to somebody, I'm pretty sure was, "Yeah, we'll get that taken care of." You know what I mean? And
most
and and
most
and
people do have tact in class, and they will tell you exactly what Mark has said. Like Mark would never ever say something like that to you guys.
well, and here's the thing, like we have a 3 strike rule at Silent Mayhem Productions for if your book doesn't get to you or if it's damaged. Like, first off, you want another book? Fine. Rip it up and send it back. Or rip it up and send me pictures. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? You're getting that next book. Why do we do that? So we don't destroy the integrity of the print run. We always say, if we're going to print 100 copies and it says 100 copies, that means 100 copies are going to be out there in this world, guys. Not 101, not 102, not 103. Like, the biggest thing you can possibly do is respect your print run. So if it happens a second time, well, now you're in the warning zone. You understand what I'm saying? This is well, we don't know, how this is going to go. If it happens a third time, you just refund them and ban them. You understand what I'm saying? And why do you do this? Number one, you tried to help them. You sent them more books, period. This next time on the third try, you can't waste all your money. So, of course, you have to just refund them. Well, there you go, guys. They were able to get the book, not get the book again, and not get the book. And then guess what? You get refunded. I haven't had to do this yet, but that's what's going to happen with Silent Mayhem Productions if we ever get into a situation where, like December's talking about, if you have some, negative energies coming from your seller, we're not like that. We try to take care of you and we give you chances.
Yeah, I've never heard of it escalating to that point. Like, what I do when I get something and it's damaged, like, usually I don't even wait for the seller to do anything, like to ask me what it looks like. I'll send them a picture right away and I'll be like, hey, do you want me to send this back to you? Like, that's fine. I just want another book exchanged if that's okay. And I offer right away to send it to them so that they know. Most of the time they're really cool and they're like, hey, just, keep it and send it to someone that'll appreciate it. And then, like, I'll send it to somebody that's like really into comics and make sure that they get an extra fan out of it. I'll be like, make sure you add them to social media. I'm sending this to you, but like, and I'll make sure it's someone that doesn't like sell it or anything like that. Because a lot of time when they'll have like a couple extra, like for print or for something like that, but most of the time books get to me fine. There are some though that, because people are packing carelessly, and it's been happening more than a lot these days, they will get to me a little bit damaged, and that's when I'm like, guys, what went wrong? Can I send this back to you? Like, can this be replaced? Stuff like that.
Luckily, with the past 2-3 campaigns that I've done, we've only had like 2 or 3 books that I had to replace.
Yeah,
out of the
and
hundreds
I
that
hear
we've
that
shipped.
from creators most of the time, and that's really good to hear that, like, most of the time it's only like a couple of them. The one that got damaged this last time, I'm hearing that from, like, not that it got damaged, but that, like, their package arrived in the state that it was in, but that the book was safe through a miracle. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm the lucky one then. But it's like, I don't sell them back and I just want to read the book. So I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not reading the book in case I have to send it back to you in the condition it was in. So I just want to read your book. And now you've, like, potentially lost a hardcore fan. So
You know what's funny? I always tell them to read it before they rip it up. That way they can keep the one that they receive next near mint. If I have to replace it. That way you don't have to worry about it. Well, December. It's going to be January if we don't get Alpha here.
yeah, I know you're trying to get rid of me, but that's okay. All I'm doing is getting you ratings.
You are 100%. When are we going to do this again?
I don't know. It looks good to you.
Let's try again in a month or 2.
Okay.
I think we can definitely get another one of these wrestling shows in, because I love taking like a different approach to the show. So
Most
we'll get a
comic
bunch of
fans are
different.
wrestling fans.
Yeah, That's true. Absolutely. That's why we do the cameos with the tie-ins with the wrestling guys. 'Cause I know the huge crossover like Chris Daniels.
CB Zane is an awesome comic creator and is huge into wrestling. So if you have not talked to him yet, he is an awesome person to talk to.
Yeah, it's weird. I see him all the time on Facebook, but I have never said a word to that guy. We've
Tell
never
him
talked at all.
hello, and maybe if you guys are feeling up for it, have him on the same show that I'm into, or like before then, chat with him, because you guys would get along famously. And he is like the nicest guy in the world. He's awesome. He does
I seem to get
incredible
along
art.
with artists. Artists are
Yeah.
people that I can tend to get along with pretty easy. Uh, it's the people that aren't artists that have no idea what the
Yes,
fuck we're
Wendy.
talking about sometimes.
No,
You know
he's
what I mean?
most of our conversations actually we met through like comic type stuff, but he did wrestling covers for one of the publications, and I was telling him how awesome wrestling is, and he found out I was a wrestler, and that like blew his mind. So like now we are involved with comics, but when we talk, it's like mostly wrestling. So I'm just like, here's another thing. And when they do this, this drives me nuts. And like we just talk wrestling, and it's awesome. And he's such a good guy, and you would love him.
So I'll definitely see if he'd like to come on the show sometime as
Yeah.
well, and maybe we can grab him for a cover or something one day eventually. But I gotta tell you, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes is how long the show is running right now. December, we could literally do a 6-hour show. So
Like you're blaming me. That's okay.
I'm totally blaming you. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, December. Why don't you tell these people where they can find you?
You can find me at facebook.com/ Miss December 32. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram at the Miss December. I also have an OnlyFans. It's not going to break your relationship or your wallet. That's at the Miss December as well. You can see my cosplay pictures and my tasteful lingerie pictures as well. Again, I'm not going to get you into any trouble with any of your people, so you can totally safely navigate your way through that. I'm also promoting a whole bunch of artists and your favorite current writers for comic book series, like Mark May and his pre-launch campaign, which will be on my Facebook soon.
I really
And then,
appreciate that.
yeah, no problem. And then I also have my current cover is with Wendy Steenshiner and Buku Comics. That is on her Etsy page. Just search Naughty Fairies.
Wow, that is the best answer we have ever gotten when we have asked somebody to tell us where they can find you. I literally had one person be like, "I don't know, you could just get with me on Facebook." I was like, "Great, you're great." December, it's been amazing. We've only got one thing left to do. Do you know what it is?
If you say anything about antiseptic wipes and a rectum, I can't help you.
Definitely not that. You guys have a great night. She's gonna give me some kind of antiseptic rectum thingy. Antiseptic rectum thingy. Good night, man. It's been amazing having you on the show.
Good night. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, hello there, everybody. This is Velvet Sky, and I'm here to remind you all to check out the hottest new comic of the summer called Hellbringers, The Ties That Bind Us. And I'll definitely be checking it out because if anybody knows how to bring the fire, it's me. It'll be launching on June 28th, and it's brought to you by the team of Ross, McLean, Ron, and Becky Rock. So make sure you check it out because it's gonna be so hot. Oh yeah, baby.